Alright, welcome to Dale Kramer's Custom Cars and Anything. Today I was thinking about maybe starting on a couple things. Rust, and more rust. But not as bad as Rusty was in my 71 Challenger. But maybe it's a tidbit better. Tidbit. Maybe. Yeah, about that much. So, anyway, oh, look at that, that's my sign. That's your sign. Please like and subscribe if you can, guys. I sure would appreciate it. It takes a little bit. It helps support the channel and that kind of stuff. It doesn't. Everything I do on this channel is out of my own pocket. I mean, but that's just something for me to look at. You know, I like your comments and I like all that stuff. So, anyway, let's look at what we're gonna do. So we're gonna attempt to do a couple things if we can. Okay. Whoa, what's this? Let's see. I wonder if I'll go a little bit. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's start talking about the rust holes. There's one there. One there. One there. One there. Rockers a shot. Rockers a shot. Bottom of the quarter panels. They're shot. That's shot. That's shot. Oh, somebody tried to replace that already. That's shot. Tried to weld that in. Oh, that's shot. Oh, rockers are shot. But the frames are in really nice shape. You know, everything's in good shape otherwise. All the crucial areas. All the frames are good. There's a little bit of rust there and a little bit of rust on that one, but always somebody tried to build rocker boxes back here. You know, or what do we call that again? I forget the word. Can't think so fast. But here's what we got to do. Before I start cutting this out, I have to strengthen this thing. Well, what does that mean? That means we got to tie the frames together, front to the back, front to the back. So what I did today is let's see here once. I'll grab my tape measure here. Look at my size 19 shoes. They're actually size 19. Sometimes I trip over my own feet. But yeah, I went out and I bought some floor repair pans. I wanted to buy a whole floor, but they said it won't work in here. I have a 74 duster. I argued with the guy on the phone. I said, no, that'll still fit. That's still a Mopar A body. No, they won't work. So finally I gave up. I said, okay, fine, you win. And the only reason that they won't work is because in 1975 they had this big catalytic converter debate in these cars. So I guess there's some sort of reliefs or something somewhere for catalytic converters. I'm trying to figure out where would that be? Could it be here? I don't see no reliefs here. That there I think is pretty typical. That could be it. I don't know. I wanted to replace the whole floor as one piece. But whatever, they win. Okay, you win. So I bought floor pans for a 76 duster. Now I bought these two from Jigs. They're okay. They're not like AMD. AMD's still the best. But then I found another set from Jigs for the back, and this is all I could find for a 76 duster. Oh my God. I could have made them with my vise. So, and then long story short, I don't know, got screwed. So anyway, but before we can put all this in, we have to strengthen it up because we got to cut stuff out, so we got to strengthen it up. So what I want to do is I want to build frame connectors and weld them in to here and here and here and here. Then they'll bridge across, and then I'll put this thing back down, and then I'll start cutting the floors out of it. You know, I'll start marking this all up, and I don't know what we're going to do here yet. I just, whatever. So anyway, I went out, because I always build my own frame connectors. So you can buy 2x3 for tubing, and that's what I do. And I go with 3/16 wall, not 1/8 inch. A lot of guys go at 1/8 inch. I do a 3/16, because I still think that's the best way to go. So anyway, we got 2 of these, 4 foot long, and we got to make frame connectors. So anyway, how do we do that? Well, now people say, you know, like a 2x4, you lay it flat, there's no strength, but when you turn the 2x4 on its side, you get more strength. Okay, and that's very true. But on frame connectors, I need the room, I need the ground clearance. Okay, and I need to cover this so I can sandwich this. So now if we take a measurement with this, look at this, it's 2.5. Okay, and then the time you add our 3/16 in, that piece of that 2x3 tubing, if I lay it to the side, not like this where it would be the strongest, but to the side, it'll go right over that. And that's okay. It's okay. You know, so we'll go flat so we got ground clearance, not this way. You know, we'll go this way. And we're going to come across. We'll probably notch it in the floor right in this general vicinity. You know, and it's going to come across. And then later on, I'll put a couple plates. I use 1/8 inch angle iron. And then I put, like the floor will be welded to this area, that'll be welded there, so we're good up to this point. Then what we should do is, we should make some sort of connection to this point. Okay? So what we'll do is we'll use, I got 2.5, or whatever it is, by, it's 1/8 inch. So I can weld it to the floor, and I can weld it to the side of the connector. But the reason why I'm building frame connectors right now is because once I start cutting this metal out, we're going to start losing that word again, rigidity. Once you start cutting all this metal out, you can see all this all is attached to the frame. So we got to create some strength here. The rocker panels are shot. The roof is shot. This is shot. That's shot. So we gotta create some. So anyway, so that thing's gonna instead of going this way, it's gonna be laying flat, and it goes over this a little bit, and I can weld. So it's gonna be flat over this. And it's gonna come across. It's gonna come across this way. Okay, and it's going to land somewhere right about here somewhere, and then I'm going to notch it out so it notches on this so I can weld here. And this brake line, that'll be knocked out of there. The brake line, also I make a hole through there, or I go through, I don't know if I want to go through that hole on the, because we won't be running torsion bars no more. So I could go through there, But I still think the right way would make a hole here and run it straight through, you know. Well, maybe through here and then through the original hole, maybe. Maybe that's what we'll do. So, I'm going to put you guys on pause while I'm going to be measuring this out, and I'm going to draw it up as a blueprint, and then I'll get back to you here in a minute. Oh, God. Wish I had an EMD floor right about now. But I don't have the money for that anyway, so time is to my door with Minnesota Governor Walsh's tax and freight truck, and we're looking at $800-900. I mean, and I just can't afford that. I can afford labor myself, but I can't afford that. Plus my welder too, I'm worried that the gas is on its last leg there too, so I'm gonna have to buy gas. Sweet. I'm having a price gouging attack again. Oh, jeez, I tell you, everybody's got a price gouge, everybody. Oh, okay, I think I'm coming back out of it again. Anyway, let's put you on pause. Okay. Okay, so here we go. I got my mic on now. So the pieces are 4 foot maximum length. Okay. So they're 48 inches. Yeah. Okay. And what I want to do, I want to incorporate this. So if we go 4 foot, like this is the connector. Do we go to the edge of that hole, or do we go? I would love to capture that. Can I? Can I or can I not? Okay, so what we got to do is we got to take a couple measurements here. We'll find a decent spot here. Let's try this one. So now to the edge of the frame rail, we got 10 1/4. Okay. Well, here we got 10 1/4 here. Okay, so the bottom of that frame rail here that I want to put this thing on goes here. So that means we're going to go actually from this edge, and I'll build a cap that goes around. That's the best way to do it. So if we go 4 feet now from here to here, it puts us way back here. Yeah, let's just. I don't want to block these holes. Well, I could drill a hole in it, I guess, for moisture. So let's do that. We'll measure from the front here to the back. Oh, and we'll go 4 feet. Yeah, we'll go 4 feet this way. That way I can capture this pinch weld. I can weld that in there. This will all be like locked together, which is a good thing. So let me grab my trustworthy square over here. I got a fan out here. Supposed to get hot this weekend, so I don't know how much work I'm going to do this weekend, but on this, here it's time to do a little fisking. Do a little fisking. So let's, okay. Now here too, let's rinse and repeat. We'll go 4 feet back. Yeah. I got to take these spew lines out and these brake lines out. Well, we run all new anyway. No, actually, I was going to use the old ones and just put silicone over the holes. No, I'm just kidding. I would never do that. So let's go 4 feet back. Okay. Okay. Now I got a measuring point. What do we do next? Well, we should rip out all that old shit, but let's drop a blueprint there. So if it goes in 2 inches, I wonder if there's anything easier. Do I have a better way of measuring this? No, I don't. Well, this is where I wish I had a small tape measure. So it's 2 inches minus the 3/16 of the wall. It will go up right about there. Okay. So, because what I'm doing is I'm taking a factory slip, it's going to come up into it. It ain't going to have a clearance problem there, but it's going to have it from approximately this point through this area to about here. I'm going to assume. Or it's going to be more than that. Wonder if, it's going to be more than that, ain't it? Okay, so let's do another thing here then. Here we should get a chalk line out. Okay, this is what we're going to do. And then minus the 3/16. Here we got to add it in. 7 and 5/16. Okay. We'll go down here. Now this is difficult as all hell. Okay, right there. Okay, and then from that point, it's going to be 3 inches. Let's see. Yeah, then have to measure from the outside of that mark to the outside of the other mark. You got to measure 3 inches. Okay, you got to move this over 3/16. Okay, so all you got to do is just measure 3/16, which is right there. And that's our width. Okay, so let's hook up a. Not exactly sure what's going to hold that all. We're going to make a chalk lines. We got to do the same thing down there yet too, don't we? Yeah. I wonder if a magnet would hold that. I don't know. The 3/16 up from the. Geez, that actually did a pretty darn good job. Wow. Now, the only problem is you have to somehow hold that one. Not sure how we're going to do this one. I suppose that's too curvy. Let's see if this works. Now we got to hold this 3/16 away again from the frame rail. Oh, that moved. Nope. Not strong enough. Okay. Let's get a bigger magnet out. I got a bigger picker upper magnet. Just got to remember where the hell I put it. What the hell is in the gut? My God. I should be sitting there. I know it's in front of my face here. Just can't remember where it is. Huh. Wow. Well, I gotta put you guys on pause while I look for this thing. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back again. I wonder if this one will hold it. I don't know. Maybe. I don't have to make these marks now, really. Quite frankly, I don't know why I'm making these marks right now. But I am. But I am a Melvis. I'm Elvis the pelvis. 3/16 down. Come on, handle. Work with me, handle. Tip that until we got 3/16 approximately. Yeah. So we just gotta cut right along that line over to that line. This line didn't really come in, but that's fine. Well, I can cut through this brace and I can even weld this brace right to the frame connector. That'll help even. Sweet! You mean we gotta do it again? Oh, come on. Jeez, I thought I was done. Well, let's do it again. That's right, everything on this car you gotta do it twice. Twice for this side. Or once, or whatever. I screwed that up, didn't I? Okay, they're on the outside. Probably better off getting on the floor on this one. Okay, yep. Could be. Yep, maybe. We'll get the floor couch out. Here's the floor couch. Let's grab everything right away. Once we're down there, then we can do it all. Let's see. I don't know why I'm marking this now. Well, it's got to be done. Deal. It's got to be done no matter what. Okay. You're right. Oh, my back is getting better, but then I do shit like this, or oh man, now there's another $5 in the swear jar. I have enough money for quarters here pretty quick. Quarter panels because I'm Oh, couldn't I found a better car than this, rustier? Oh, well, it's about saving it. Car's got a spirit. Okay. Okay, that's how long it's gonna be. Okay, Yep, okay. That's right. Well, we gotta make a mark. We gotta measure this first, don't we? Let's see what's consistent there. So that's what's consistent. 7 7/8. No, less than that. 7 3/4, I think. My back won't let me do what I want to do here. 7 3/4. No, maybe 7 11/16, huh? No, 7 11/16, and then yeah. Let's try this one more time. 3/4 puts it right on there. We're gonna go 7 11/16. Okay, and here, wish these had a point on them or something. Right there. Oh, come on. It's the bottom side of that mark. What is up? Won't you? Yeah, bottom of that mark. No, loose down there. I'm gonna hold this 3/16 of an inch out from there. Okay. Then we gotta measure 3 inches up from that one. Give me 3/16 room here. So that later on that piece can sandwich there. So let's go 3 inches high here. Get our holder down here. Okay. Yeah, it looks consistent. I like consistency sometimes. Right in here. Perfect. Okay, that's perfect. Okay. Now we gotta get her holder into place somehow. What a clusterfuck this is. Or what a cluster duck. Yeah, it's a cluster duck. Mm. It's a cluster duck. Come on. Okay, perfect. We'll go across just right. Oh, 3/16 on the way off of that. That's where our frame connector will go. Okay. Geez, I think I did a better job in this one. Oh, this frame rail is a little wider. But it looks here, they jacked here and they smashed it out. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. I'm gonna have to try to squeeze that together somehow. Shit. That sucks. Even their rust panel that they put in there is rusting out. Looks like to me when I'm sitting here looking at this. See, I don't want to cut this plate out or anything. Okay? But the tubing's gonna go 2 inches down. So to about here, and then I gotta start cutting the tubing out because I don't want to cut into this. Okay? The reasoning is because right now this is giving this floor a lot of strength. All this here. And it's on that side too, and it's in good shape yet. So I don't want to interrupt that. But what I want to do is maybe weld some of this, to give it some more strength, maybe. I think what I'm going to do I'm gonna cut this. You know, those rear floor pans ain't in bad shape, really. It's just the outer edges are screwed up on them, aren't they? Here it might be a little bit of rust, maybe. Maybe all I want to do is I don't want to replace the whole rear floor pan. Hey, maybe I just want to cut out this little spot. You know what? That'll save me a lot of time. This is all good shape. Why would you cut this out? Right? Wouldn't that be dumb? What is this? Standing straight out. Kind of weird. That's what we're going to do for the rear ones. Yeah, I'll just cut it all the way up to the floor, up to here. Cut this piece out. Hey, I'm liking that. I'm actually McDonald's and Burger King it. I'm loving it, and I'll have it my own way. You didn't hear that. Nobody did. Okay. Let's get back to designing some frame connectors. So what we're going to do, we're going to notch the front out. We're going to notch the front out. We're going to cut the floor out here. And we're going to notch the thing from about. What we actually should do here is we should measure an inch out. And then we'll cut that out, and we'll cut this piece out. That way we can incorporate this all together. See, I mean, planning like this, once you get it planned out, you can go like heck on it. But it's just you gotta look at all your options, all your ways. The screw lines have to pop off. Cut them all off. I'll be putting new braided ones on, or well, I'll probably put steel ones on again. But I'm gonna put a 17-gallon fuel cell in the back where the tire used to sit. It's going to get a fuel cell, frame connectors, tubular front suspension. It's kind of going to be a road car, you know what I mean? 4-speed at least with a 6.4 Hemi. And I'm putting that little tiny Dana 44 in the back of it, huh? Well, that's got an 8.5-inch ring gear, Dana 44. 8 3/4's got 8.75. So that's 8.50. If I was drag racing it, yeah, it's got to be Dana 60, 8 3/4, 4.9-inch. And if I blow that rear end out, then it will be. Because I got that Dana 44, that's all rebuilt with 8 3/4 axles, 30 spine axles, disc brakes, screen bearings, 373 gears. So that's what I'm going to put in here for now. And if that goes out on me, then I'm going to put a Ford 8.8 rear in it. That I can pull up to a hardware store, pull up to an auto store and say, I need brakes for a 2004 Ford Ranger. Chances are they'll have them on hand. So it'll have 4-wheel disc brakes. You know, won't be power brakes, but they're big disc brakes. So I don't need the assistance. I don't need assistance on my size 19 shoe to push the pedal down. So I don't need power brakes. All they are is they're in the way. To simplify your brakes, if your power brakes are a problem, just put 4-wheel disc brakes on it. You know, you can still add a power cylinder to it if you want. But that's my theory anyway. But that's me though. So yeah, let's make one more line an inch out. And then that's where we'll start a cut, and we'll cut this out. I think we'll have to cut the tip of this out. And then that way, And on the back floor pans, we're just going to replace this section. So we can cut them out of them cheap floor pans. And then that same thing up there. And then we have to go back a little bit more on that one. We might have to here too, I'm not sure. If I got some steel, we can make little tiny pieces if we have to. We'll weld them in good and strong. I look at that and I go, what the heck is that? You and I do a better job. See, I could do a really good job of fabricating and everything, but if you want to grade my bodywork would be like a D, maybe a C, maybe C minus. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, what would be nice is we can incorporate this seat brace, and it's just gonna miss the hole too. We're gonna incorporate that right into the frame connector, so that'll give it rigid. Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna step this up, and when that thing goes over the top of this, it can go 2 inches down here. Then it's gonna go up in an angle, whatever this measurement is. Then out to an inch out to here. This measurement will be consistent. So we'll go like this, like that, and then like that. Now we can weld all this. It'll just give it strength like you and believe, and weld this bracket to it. Yeah. Guys, I'm excited. I cannot wait to get rid of this rust. Get rid of this junk. Oh. And everything up here is in good shape. Just one little spot up there. Back there, it's pretty decent. It's got a couple of spots I can fix them up with little pieces of sheet metal. We have frame connectors. And everybody says I should move the leaf springs inboard. Like with fatter tires, but then you should mini tub it. I don't want to do all that, guys. This is good enough. Oh, now I got to get up, start designing. I want these in by middle of next week. Oh, man. I did the tripod stand. Oh, losing this though. I lost 6 pounds. I'm on a diet pill regimen. It's all water. Let's get this stuff picked up. Put away. Okay. Time to do some designing. Okay, I had a pen. Did it fall? Where did I put the pen? What is it? I set something down and I can't find it no more. Okay, here, let's get this off the ground yet. Okay, you got it that far. All right. There's a pen in front of me. There's a square. All right, I lost my pen. Good deal. Maybe I got an extra one over here somewhere. I got 14,000 of them in the house. I got 2 out in the shed. Gone down to none. Oh, there it is. There's one. We'll use this pen. Try to find the other one. Okay. Oh. Okay. Wonder if we can get you guys in closer somehow here. Oh. Okay, so we said they were going to be 4 feet long. I think we can pretty much make them identical. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay, we can. We'll measure well, it's 4 feet from there to there. Okay, yeah. So anyway, they're going to be 4 feet. That's top view. On the side, I just screwed that up. Okay. And the side view will be so what we want to do then is we're going to want to measure in well, that's got a kick out. Well, they both got kick outs. That kind of sucks. We'll go 2 3/8. So this in, because of the torsion bar mount goes through here. So we'll go 2 3/8. Right there. Right there. Okay. Then it'll be just a standard deal all the way to here. So if our 4-foot mark is there, oh, that's right, we're going to make marks here, won't we? Let's do that quick. We go an inch. Let's go an inch. Well, that didn't work. Body undercoating under there. Well, There's our mark. Down here an inch. Okay. Okay, so now we're looking at the side view again. Normal 2-inch can go right to that mark. 4 inches out. So this is 2 inches. Okay. And from the back of it, well, that can go that way all the way. But then the back of it, 4 inches out. And then we're going to go 2 inches. Okay. Go 2 inches and normal till we start to get to the floor piece. Then we got to come up. So it's a 4 inches out. Then we got to start coming up. So we come up to let's go 1 inch. So this would be 1 inch. 1 inch. Okay. Now we're gonna go to this. So we'll go 1 inch because 1 inch will still be able to. Yeah. And that'll carry over to 6 3/4 inches. Is that right there? Yeah. And then it's going to drop back down again. It's all 1 inch. For 1 inch and 3/8. So what's going to happen is it's going to look like, let's try to draw this little section out if we can. I'll show you guys this in a minute. So there's our, so anyway, how can I show you guys this? This isn't the easiest thing to do here. It's like, here's that, you know, here's the rear frame that goes up, you know, the axle. Oh. I'm screwing everybody up. I'm boring them. Anyway, picture this thing. This is the, let's see, I wonder, this is the frame connector. Okay? Now if I could take that frame connector and put it on its side and put it up there, that's the way it would be. Torsion bar mount goes through this area. And the rear frame, how it comes up, the body through here. So that way it gives me room I can run a bead of weld around this yet. You know? I don't know if you understand that. Some of you guys will, some of you guys won't. But when we start building this, you guys will understand it. So anyway, wonder if we should transfer some of this. Well, we got to cut the ends off of them deals yet, don't we? Maybe we should do this on another video. This will just get us going. It's an hour long anyway. And then what I'm going to do is basically transfer this to the 2x3 tubing. Now, you're looking at the side of it. So this is 2 inches maximum. Now, underneath it, that goes towards the paper, that'd be 3 inches. Okay? I wonder if I got a piece here in the shed. I thought what I would do is hold up this piece of metal up there. So you guys can get a feel for what I'm trying to accomplish here. So this is our 2x3 tubing. What I'm trying to do is notch that out so it fits over that, so I can weld it to it, and then like that. So that, and then it will be notched into the floor, and that's what we're trying to do. Okay, so if I kept this thing to the side, that's how I'll draw the design of this on there. But that's what we're trying to do. So it's going to take some cutting to make them. But when they're asking, and they're only 1/8 inch, and they're asking like, what is it now, $300 for them? Oh my God. As soon as it says Dodge, it's like, look out, triples the money. Stellantis must be asking a lot of royalty money or something. I'm going to take you guys on a quick tour. I'm just washing my hands off because now I got, I'm using 3/16. It's halfway between a quarter and an eighth. Quarter would be kind of overkill, although you can never simplify for any safety. But 1/8 inch to me is too thin. It roughs out. The 3/16, it might get a scale rust on it, but it'll still be a solid piece of steel, you know. So anyway, let's take down a tour of what I'm trying to do. Hold that piece of metal up there. So let's grab the paperwork. Now you see here, I can go 2 inches down, but then I start to run into this, and I'm not notching this out. I want to keep the strength here. So I'm going to notch the 2x3 tubing out. Well, if it goes down 2 inches here, no problem till I get to this point. Then we got to start stepping it up, you know. So then we step it up to a, what do I got here? To 1 inch. You come up from 2 inches to 1 inch so far out. You better look at that measurement. 4 inches. 4 inches to here. Then I come up. Yeah, then I come up to 1 inch. 4 inches from this line to here. Then I come up to 1 inch, you know, right away. And then we go down to 6 3/4. I don't know why that don't seem right, but let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah. 4 inches to there. Yep, 4 inches to there, to that notch. And then 6 inches, 6 3/4 to here. God, I don't have enough fucking hands. Oh, pardon me. God, I just don't have enough hands. Okay, 6 3/4 to 1 inch. That should actually be longer. 6 3/4 would put it right to the end there. Oh, that's right. Then we go to an inch and an eighth or something. What do I got written down here? Inch and 3/8. We finish it off with inch and 3/8. So I need one more measurement. I need a total. 6 3/4 to the last of the inch, and then at 6 3/4 to it has to be an inch and 3/8. Okay, so that's right, because we're making these lines. So we got to go from that line to that line, which is 10 and 3/8. Yeah, so we gotta mark that measurement down here, 10 and 3/8. That's what's screwing me up here. So we go from where we go back to 2 inches now here. Here we go back to 2 inches. We go from here to here, 10 and 3/8. So an inch and 3/8 little notch right here, you know. And we have to measure from this side. Everything's measured from this flat side. Okay, this is a boring video. It actually sucks, I think. But this is part of engineering. Because like I said, the reason why I'm doing all these notches is because I want to stay away from this. I don't want to cut any of this out. And I'm staying away from this by I'm going to cut the notch in the floor from here. This whole piece right here will come out. And then maybe a little notch piece right there. And then the rest is just, I'll put, I got some 1/8 inch angle iron. That sounds funny, but 1/8 inch angle, if I want to call it that. So I can weld it to the new floor and weld it to the side of the thing. This, when I cut this off, the seat support, that'll be welded into the frame connector. So that way this all stays straight. Before I cut this piece out right here, then I'll take the welder and I'll weld right here. And then here too maybe. And then maybe here too even to give it some more strength. And then I'll weld the new frame connector to the frame here. And then, like I said, we'll notch that out. Then we come up to here. Now my measurement is straight off to here. But you can see this bows out right here a little bit. So I'm going to have to notch the frame connector out as I fit it. Then I'll come across. I'll weld here, and weld here. And then I'm going to put a gusset in here too. And I'll weld this all up and I'll weld it to the frame connector. So that way this is all sandwiched as well. And then it'll be welded to this. This will be welded to that. And that'll be do. So yeah. So anyway. So that should really give it some good strength, you know. So anyway. Okay. Super ass boring video if you ask me. Super ass boring. But well informative. So tomorrow or the next day or whenever I can do it, we'll trace this all out. We'll draw it out on there, and we'll cut them deals out. You know. So let's see how it like this. We'll cut that all out. Then I think, you know, since those rear floors are so cheap, I'm actually thinking I'm not going to cut that whole floor out. Why would you? That doesn't even make sense. I'm just going to cut out the outer edges there by the rocker panels there that need it on each side. You know. And since I'm notching the floor out here, I might as well just maybe just take it and cut it there across here, and maybe up to here or something. You know, just replace this little piece on each side. Then the rear floors will be done. Oh, I hate fixing other people's stuff though. Like somebody cut that panel out. You can see that there. I'll get my finger out of here so it don't blow up. You see that? Now I gotta try to correct that. So anyway, but we'll get the frame connectors in first. Then I can weld this side anyway. Because this side ain't gonna be replaced. This side will be replaced. So I weld the floor to that right away. Maybe I can weld that brace right to the frame connector as well. You know, and then we can strengthen this thing up. You know, because when I start cutting floors out of it and stuff, that's when it's going to lose its rigidity. Rigidity. So anyway, guys, sorry about boring you, which I'm actually bored by it. And but like I say, we got to take time out. You got to do paperwork and other engineering. Then you can do the fabrication, which I like to do. So anyway, guys, if you find it amusing, please like and subscribe. And we'll go from there. And once you start welding them in, well, that's when the car is going to start going back the way it should be. Rear floor, I'm not going to worry about that. Actually, I'm cutting that spare tire well. That's getting cut out. That's all rusted out on the back side of it, on the back. Right there, it's all paper thin. So I'm cutting this thing out as a square. I'm going to order my fuel cell, 17 gallon, and that's going to be incorporated in the floor. So I'm just going to put sheet steel over that, really nice. And we'll seam seal that in. I should find a bead roller because for these beads, to give it strength, I should find one, if I can bead roll some strength into that panel. Yeah. Spare tire can sit above it or right in front of it here somehow at an angle or something in the trunk. So, okay. Enough blah 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 blah. Anyway, guys, take care. Please like and subscribe, and laugh all you want, because I am. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.